Sudha Murthy is a well known social worker and author. She is renowned for her noble mission of providing computer and library facilities in all government schools of Karnataka. She is the chairperson of the Infosys Foundation. So it was probably April of 1974. Bangalore was getting warm and gulmohars were blooming at the ISC campus. She was the only girl in our postgraduate department and she was staying at the ladies' hostel. Other girls were pursuing research in different departments of science. She was looking forward to going abroad to complete a doctorate in computer science. She was offered scholarships from universities in the US. She had not thought of taking up a job in India. One day, while on the way to her hostel from their lecture hall, she saw an advertisement on the notice board. It was a standard job advertisement notice from the famous automobile company Telco. It stated that the company required young, bright engineers, hardworking, and with an excellent academic background. And at the bottom was a small line: lady candidates need not apply. She read it and was very upset. For the first time in her life, she was upset up against gender discrimination. Though she was not keen on taking up the job, she saw it as a challenge. She had done extremely well in academics, better than most of her male peers. She knows that in real life, academic excellence is not enough to be successful. After reading the notice, she went fuming to her room. She decided to inform the topmost person in Telco about the injustice the company was perpetrating. She got a postcard and started to write, but there was a problem. She didn't know who headed Telco. She thought it must be one of the Tatas. She knew JRD Tata was the head of the Tata group. She saw his picture in the newspaper. She took the card, addressed it to JRD, and started writing. She remembered clearly what she wrote. The great Tatas have always been pioneers. They are the people who started the basic infrastructure industries in India, such as iron and steel, chemicals, textiles, and locomotives. They have cared for higher education in India since 1900, and they were responsible for the establishment of the Indian Institute of Science. But she was surprised how a company such as Telco was discriminating based on gender. She posted the letter and forgot it. Less than 10 days, she received a telegram stating that she had to appear for an interview at Telco's Pune based company. She was taken back by the telegram. Her hostelmate told her that she should utilize this opportunity. It was her first visit to Pune, and she at once fell in love with the city and remained dear to it. She felt as much at home in Pune as she did in Hubli. Hubli is her hometown. The place changed her life in so many ways. She went to Telco's Pomprey office for the interview. There were 6 people on the panel, and they whispered that this was the girl who wrote to JRD Tata. She heard somebody whispering as soon as she entered the room. By then, she knew for sure that she would not get the job. The realization abolished all fear from her mind. So she was rather cool while the interview was being conducted. Even before the commencement of the interview, she reckoned the panel as if they were biased, so she gave the answer rather impolitely. She hoped that this was only a technical interview. They were taken back by her rudeness, and she was ashamed of her attitude. The panel asked her technical questions, and she answered all of them. Then an elderly gentleman with an affectionate voice explained the difference between factory and academics. She was a young girl from small town Hubli, and her world had been a limited place. She did not know the ways of large corporate houses and their difficulties. Finally, after a long interview, she was told she was successful. She had never thought she would take up a job in Pune. She met a shy young man from Karnataka there, and they became close friends, and finally they got married. So it was only after joining Telco that she realized who JRD Tata was. He was the uncrowned king of the Indian industry. Now she was scared to meet him, but she did not get an opportunity to meet him till she was transferred to Bombay. One day she had to show some reports to Mr. Mulagokar, chairman, in his office on the first floor of Bombay House. When suddenly JRD walked in, that was the first time she saw Appro JRD. So here Appro means our in Gujarati. This was the affectionate term by which people at Bombay House called him Appro. She was feeling very nervous remembering her postcard episode. So SM introduced her nicely. Ji ha, this young woman is an engineer and a postgraduate too. She is the first woman to work on the telco shop floor. JRD looked at me. She was praying to God that he would not ask her any questions about her interview. Instead, he remarked it was nice that girls were getting into engineering in our country. After that, she used to see JRD on and off. In 1982, she had to resign from her job at Telco. When she thought of leaving the company, she wanted to meet JRD Tata. When she met him, he gave suggestion to her to be confident and must give back to society. Finally, she considered JRD a great man, an extremely busy person who valued one postcard written by a young girl seeking justice. Her love and respect for the house for Tatas remained undiminished by the passage of time. She always looked at JRD and considered him to be her role model for his simplicity, generosity, kindness, and the care he took for his employees. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to Communication Skills for everyone for more economic educational videos.